Me am the Jumadi and Chami, Midden Society, some more Tony, me do with my friend, the captain of the Dreshubafia man from Sami on top. And then young Korean Kosia, the IMF, to go or not to go, and then Yanko Padaruma, baby, Yababidru, I don't know. Young Shek. And Yama Baku, you know, me and San. So, Amanyosem. And then Yapahon to my Owampeni, and now the Danko Kufuado, Nanufoni de Chrof, fair, and IMF, a yellow go so baha. Omampeni shouting say bibia echoes Ghana we pay ni sisase me koso omampeni etimelo but yen hwe adebe IMF bailout last week omampeni da John Dramani Mahama ekache omampeni na nado say bibia Ghana sikase matete apansema koduru no onfa na nchire mo IMF na onkoje mwa nchime mo ma Ghana sikase entimi koso. Some government communicators once again as usual Omutwabo mampenda da John Dramani Mahama ekache ni se MPP for program no to omofo fesikasem ho a se bi nyo mampenda da John Dramani Mahama omoche se ne record nye so mutwa edebo no don't forget to say eyo mampenda da John Dramani Mahama the program some few months ago Ghana at the crossroad oye no o make such a yes suggestion in proposal to the government say on consider IMF bailout but enkonkusiaga kusisa last week Friday finally Omampeni na do share no so afọ hwe sikasam no totie so no munyamfo eye kodwo ponkromo so afọ hwe enkitamudi na manebo ensem so ede betu just afede e ko IMF no Omampeni da John Dramani Mahama and so issue statement on the face social media handles no call say I welcome President Akufo-Addo's decision to formally engage the IMF with a view to entering into a program under the fund. Though belated, it should mark an important step towards addressing the dark economic situation, which has left Ghanaians wallowing under intense suffering and hardship. Omampeni da John Dramani Mahama say, Obo Omampeni na nado abaso say, waje atum say one IMF bekwakodi djuma no mahwe atoto nyama wo say omu say ache aka akire de na susumpeni say aka akire kura ye better late than none. Elenti no chese betumi aboa ema ho kira Ghana ewom sisia no su se ebetimi aboa ma etimi abafom. Beyond the announcement of engagement with the IMF, a comprehensive homegrown program should be fashioned out and presented to the fund for support. It is imperative that a team of skilled and competent negotiators is put together to obtain the best set of measures with the fund. Omampeni da John Dramani Mahama said, Ewumbe hia se abana nkasa de ne hyehyeye ne niam a oye homegrown policy so ekwan me pese me faso na metimi boa emesikasem ne timi ekoye enie se de ono ne de ko 2015 no se de be ya IMF no behwe afesu so aben mpe animdifo a omunim de pa no munkodi Ghana fo anim sabrom ne IMF fokusi nkunya ato adwen ahwe kwampo metimi afaso abo man Ghana no no munya ne sa pepepe se de be ya Ghana so betimi atemfa so de titru e de free IMF eye dwumade ya ye kwakodi we ya futu Omampeni da John Dramani Mahama e de kwamo Omampeni na nado na oto aso say the finance minister who has supervised the disastrous collapse of the economy cannot and should not be part of the team of negotiators. He has lost credibility and the trust and confidence of the stakeholders in our economy. Wasi ye rake no foriata ono atena so aye peni a otena fie hwema mofra we nanka no enne won fa ne nka ho o chese oye disastrous na so onyenye oye monyo mo mfa ne nka mpanyufo o mo ni IMF ko akohia na omo ato adwan kwampa metima fa so aba o maga na sense woni sebio ni monyam we lose credibility na woni gidie economy sikasem no Ghana fo ni gidie onum so no betima atoto nema amatumi akoye. Omampeni da John Dramani Mahama semno no was say President Akufo-Addo must take a bold decision to replace his finance minister immediately with a more assured and competent person who is willing and able to work tirelessly to turn our almost hopeless situation around. Omampeni Mahama say Dada Mahama say Omampeni na dunya kukudro na wansesa ne so afo kenoforiata o hiskasem so no mpe obi a wonim de na ahokeka ne apepa so be ye adwumade aboa na se be sikasem atente apasem animunyam nim no entimi fa animunyam emfamra we Omampeni da John Dramani Mahama na oto so in addition Given his obvious failures, the vice president must be relieved of his responsibility as chair of the economic management team to enable president to constitute the team. We must draw useful lessons from this episode and avoid cheap politicking with the economy that can only yield the disastrous outcomes that have brought us here. Osi Omampeni Nanado, the head of economic management, in which the vice president Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Omampeni Sisano. Now on forming a team fufro and manage the economic team. Na ye sua de mfam free sa pempenso aga na sikasem akwa kodroi na wa describe say omo results or their manage a disastrous. So say we me emfa anya Amanyosem ento mampeni entu ho na mo mampeni da John Dramani Mahama eno no. Na yenhwe ade baako. 2014 ene MPP4 ene emeka sa ban wo Amanyuko wa by MPP4. The Intomama IMF so demonic, looking so demonic. Eddie Amagana for say always making reference to a year the NDC4, a year 2014, 2015, a bromo call IMF no. Na before Omampena John Dramani Mahama kasa na futu ade man ananda kwakufu ado no. Ohwe the first a year asimo kacho mo say they should develop a homegrown program. Homegrown program ni say abana kasa ntrase no hu ye hawaii kuta no hu say okay kwa we na me pese me faso now they akokire IMF say me hawo nie e kwa me pese me faso so me hawo no nie enti boa me na mentimi nso ano ene ni homegrown policy said ono na ban eye near 2015 and 2014 no na yenhwe ade bi 2014 this is what John Dramani Mahama and NDC did. The homegrown policies no 2014 century consensus no and the Jumadi course Mahama government on May 14 2014 organized National Economic Forum in Akosombo in the Eastern region. The forum, which was on the theme changing the narrative, building a national consensus for economic and social transformation, was aimed at transitioning the country to a higher and sustainable path of development and improving the quality of life of the people. 2014, May Busumana Tosudunai. And omuko share mo yes senche consensus say they near popular senche consensus no na omunyina akotra se frame penyefo munum de wo sikasem no tutue mu ne amamu so mina entrance Ghana penisi adwene nyansa eni ba kufo nti no monhwe kwampa ombetimi afaso sabe na sikasem atete apansam no ombetimi atoto eni amaye. The opposition New Patriotic Party me wan kan say 2014 census no consensus senche consensus no MPP as a political party was invited. NDC abansa brand to serve for MPP4 to serve from Omampena John Dramani Mahama Nana Danko then in opposition Omanko. The opposition New Patriotic Party MPP boycotted the forum, claiming that the government had already adopted a set of reforms between 2014 and 2017. MPP4 and Kosa a consensus no so for monim dia no mo adwenkyire anko. Aso mo kan say ade aba na kasa kra no Mahama bansa abre no atrase de hihye gu akwam say 2014 kosi 2017 no omo de hihye gu akwam omo fi so omo de betimi asakra ne amani nti ade nti kura na hia adwenkyere eni nti MPP as a political party anko. Now yenhwe homegrown policies senche consensus no mko hia no omo adopt ye say eno ena NDC John Dramani Mahama led government homegrown policy omo ankasa draft ye dimidi approach IMF for negotiation. One, restoring microeconomic stability. That's one homegrown policy of Mankasa adopted. So Mahama said it was time Ghanaians came to a common ground to agree on what should be the appropriate way to find sustainable solution to the country's development challenges. Omukwa no mampena John Dramani Mahama said the ntia omo de sa restoring macroeconomic stability ni say e braso say Ghana fo ankasa nyina betena se penito beba bua mo asu anti se wankasa osu ye nyina betimi atrase na to ahwe kwampa ye betimi aso ye hawa no eniti homegrown policy number 1 restoring macroeconomic stability. Number 2, cynicism. Mahama spoke against cynicism, saying the nation must rise above it, stressing the need for Ghanaians to let their voices be heard on issues of national importance. He said, we cannot remain silent on issues that affect the nation. We need to talk to one another rather than at one another. Omampenda that John Dramani Mahama say, yebetimi ayentumi nya wetwi no ha say no say brass say nti say Ghana for yedi. Ghana for nyina do manutum na yetia kwampa betimi aboa. Ye nyina nso so adwe na nkonko ese mekotana na mekoka we ho asem ne mum ye nyina nso so adwe kwampa betimi afa so. So the policy, homegrown policies, I don't know, they open up. John Dramani Mahama NDC government then at that time open up to Ghana for say nyina ye nkyere adwen emfamfa kwampa ye betimi ade akyekere ne ankasa 2014 senche consensus. The third one, the third homegrown policy number 3, the city hashtag, bring back the city. Now, sa hashtag, Mahama said as a listening president, he was not obvious of the concerns expressed by businesses and the public on the effect of the measures by the Bank of Ghana to stabilize the city, which plummeted by about 20% by the end of the first quarter 2014. After the first quarter 2014, now you see the no. Now what is what by 20% 2014. No man penda da John Dramani Mahama say na nya ade foforo wate se Ghana for kasa na asa aban a wo kasa wotie no na wo so mu nyina kabom na o mo de bibia friend say bring back the city. Now say come betimi restore city no dignity na ahode atimi aba city no mu and so I can be. The fourth item on the homegrown policy was the private sector. Ankrankra Jumaku say touching on the role the private sector played in growing the economy. Mahama said he was personally working to ensure that the sector received all the necessary support to grow the businesses. Ebinu say ekwanbe na ankrankra Jumaku betimi afa so enyini enti onu ankasa fatro so obehwe kwan ene ne manfo penifo ko kira adwene say private companies e wo Ghana nyina no omu nyina betimi anya support na timi enyini na omu nyina no mo fa nkrofo a omu tia taxes no mo so eboa timi create jobs emu bi no mo de sika koma pharmaceutical companies ahodo e wo Ghana ha say no afi another 1.5 diversification. He also spoke about the need to diversify the economy from being the producer of primary products to an industrial economy against the backdrop of uncertainties in the world price of primary produce such as cocoa. Omoyan say baby edu no nye de bia na ebenya raw material cocoa ne afa ne ne sa ne de kwa ma no ne akoton fofofo e wo se etimi dani daniani na esika ne timi ekosoro eno homegrown policy ba ko a omoye nti ubeka through that anomoye say omokwa akọ no makọ rebuild Commander Sugar Factory ni nyina part of the homegrown policies a omode ba ansa no mokọ IMF. They talk so ensia the wage bill adwumafo aketua. Mahama said one of the measures adopted to resolve the economic challenges of the country was the control of the rising wage bill. The economic challenges defy government. The president expressed the hope that the forum would tackle some of the challenges that had defied successive government over the past decades. O chese sabre no na dia ba ko ha aban pa ya ba adwumafo aketua. Sabre na ba adwumafo be over 600,000. No mo chese egi sika nyina Ghana to na duro na ti omoka. A chese na chekire aban pa. O chese aban aba ko nyina no na ya de so ama o momentimi aso ano but o mo ko senche no me kwampo metimi afa so ese adwumafo no aketua no se bi o emene aban. So the wage bill was also on the items of the homegrown policies of the call 2014. Now the program omodi ni nyina hye so no ewie no omoko IMF 2015. The policy no the homegrown policy was adopted in 2014. 2015 and John Dramani Mahama NDC government went to IMF. Now in early 2015 Ghana turned to the IMF for a $919 million loan to help stabilize the economy. IMF advisor working with the Ghanaian government developed the 3-part program. Omukode ko kire IMF say okay ye nyankase atenase a homegrown policy de pese ye ni na mom ye hia bebi afa no policy credibility ye pese mo beta achi se de be ya ye betumi anya nimonyam na ye kopebo sia wa manhodo so a ye betumi anya bie. So the policy credibility no anything no mo ekoye na IMF for tenase no IMF so adopt enyama miensa said yeah popular conditionalities IMF for so betimi awe untimi nye IMF for conditionalities o made buy. 1, restore debt sustainability. And IMF for so mehwe kwambo betimi aboa ndisi aban sa abre 2014 2015 na ye kana emene kosoro no omatimi de dum pempenso bia ebetimi ekremu. The government limited hiring and wages increases and eliminated subsidies for utilities and petroleum products to raise revenue, to crack down on tax evasion and rationalize exemption. Abani ye shabani say untimi mfa adwumafo yo said the ofane alemetew ubetimi afọ akodu certain level bi number bi na mo untimi mfa no yo wholesale na ofo bia afa so adwumafo aketua no ensese wutum so market tua no osisi ayi untimi increase no because of situation mo afa subsidies sabre na ensuo ene fango ne nyama nyinam kanea no na aban de sika kakra esoso ase subsidy eno so IMF say that be subsidy ni free ho say that be betimi nya sika do wetimi la chichire o man no etimi cost afa tax evasion omo a omuntua to eno so aban hwe say obi bia odwane to no ye betimi hwe say nipa no betimi etua eto we IMF for conditionality omo de eba ene bi new revenue sources included a tax on luxury cars and increased tax on high earners. Sa new tax from the Bible ni say, omo ase bi omo do omo ada omo wanya omo pam no, ye ma omo ntua to pa, na omo maketua so mu odru no, omo say ma omo ntua eto omo pa to put Ghanaians finances on a sounder footing. The new Public Financial Management Act called for improved accounting standard, procedures and technology. Enumu no mudi bibia ron fa ne Public Financial Management Act e de ba say aban nwumakuo mu nyina no obia kohoma sika pese obo no o me hyehye aba o pese okoto bibi we bibia ni nyina o de manage ni nyina sere be ya sika no enyuno. Another issue, bailout conditioner IMF for the buyer strengthening monetary policy. E kon betimi afaso na monetary policy wo koje bosia Bank of Ghana ni sika krabia bia betimi akoso. The authorities agreed to gradually end central bank finances of the budget deficit, a major source of inflation, and to fortify the inflation targeting regime. Domo eye ni say Bank of Ghana emhwe say obetimi abomoden na sa aban ko boka aban ko di djuma bia Bank of Ghana fa ho ka no mo so obetimi sia no omutumi sia no a beboa ma inflation na ewosoro no atumi abafom na sika atumi aboma no mu we eye IMF conditionality omode ma Ghana for 2015. Now clean up the banking sector. Another a year conditionality is IMF for setting ma Ghana 2015 bra ya approach omo for a year IMF bailout. An asset quality review revealed significant undercapitalization. Some banks were capitalized and the Bank of Ghana used its newly enhanced authority to wind down insolvent lenders. The central bank developed a regulation that ensured that banks meet sound underwriting and credit valuation standard. It also paid back insolvent microfinance institutions depositors. Domoya and say banks are hold was cyber no sikasem and emmoya diamo moment minyas no pe kwan Bank of Ghana betimi aso masin tinu be kan a capital bank any all those bank UT banks ni nyina no then government Bank of Ghana no me enso mo musika say mo yan fan so masin say le be musika say no betimi agina na so na matimi aye adwuma afesu microfinance ahodo a na aguru so omo so akatua na so musika nation ma ramfi aye sa microfinance ya na kuma sem friends say DKM no mom kaka onyina no abane se betu eska ne dia mom because abre no mo de eromatima collapse we homegrown policy IMF adopt here to help Ghana secure economic footing in 2015. Now, among these three policies we nyina buy, this was the outcome. The outcome a buyer from 2015 bailout to say Ghana's economy is on the mend. The trade and budget deficits are narrowing. The pace of economic growth is poised to raise to 8.8% in 2019 from 2.2% in 2015. The inflation rate is projected to fall to 8% from almost 19%. At that time, now inflation actually ended almost 19%. Now economic growth, as at 2015, and this is for IMF. Now economic growth is about 2.2%. And to all this, IMF projected say by 2017, 18, 19, Ghana economy will grow by 8.8%. Now for inflation, now you should have do 19%. Or more expected say a bed drop about 8%. And indeed, Yensha ade be cut. Mame free nkwa hands na ba. Indeed, NPP by 2017-2018, in fact, the economy grew by 8%. So no. And the NPP by no, the inflation also dropped. And the NPP also managed the inflation from the year double digit to single digit inflation, managing to a point. And Sana Shah says a shooty at the ACO. Ghana's economy was cut wasteful spending, made room for much needed social interventions such as free secondary education. For Ghana's 28 million people, it all ends up to higher incomes, better job opportunities, and more purchasing power. Still, Ghana remains largely reliant on foreign financing, exposing it to a swing in investor sentiment. Maintaining fiscal discipline will also be a challenge. And the IMF sub program on the bottom say ebwa man sikana ban to tugu wasteful expenditure. Omo katini na because IMF boba mu a o timi ni sikana rough say o say peno. Omo make sure sikana ya dem awo no wo de koye de wo say o de ye sikana ba so a yes o de ko grow number say. The IMF no kan be na Ghana nya sika dey free SHS. This issues and I said this point I'm giving you oko IMF for website now ko search about 2015 Ghana bailout. This is the report from the IMF. You can get it there. So according to IMF, because of that stringent measures on the government 2015, the boy made me service car. It me be a free senior high school, it be creative jobs. Emma Ghana, Emma Bruno. Now, and somewhere IMF for Academy free last week. A bano yes say, she said there was a call IMF name about course on Ghana for him the full biswa kasa at the afa the situation Ghana womb, baby abandoned in natural the pros and cons. The positive side and the negative side. Among them is Yera, Bright Salmon. Bright Salmon's opinion is a Ghanaian social innovator, entrepreneur, writer, social and political commentator. He's also a vice president in charge of research at Imani Center for Policy and Education. He is also the founder and president of M Pedigree. Oyopenia wonim di osikasam no totia oba na Amanyosem so odi muntentema pa okọ Imani Ghana ehwehwemu no ono ene epenin kwankyerefo a wo hwe omudwumadie ehwehwemu enso Yera Bright Salmons no na okasemi already about 17 points my money tell fam say Ghana waited too long to go to the IMF for say abantwentwe ne nasodo class na ekwa IMF so say kwada dada. 2 IMF doesn't like basket cases. What see IMF for person they be no betra se ama wo how na ye o bucket ni ma ansa na wo dey akọ. Ghana stubbornly refused to sign on the DSSI. IMF will insist. What see no sen ka Ghana ba ne ho ko hye IMF odwuma de bi o mo friend DSSI. Now so anya de se edin ko ade a eye yakoyi. IMF for be make sure say de ho hye se adwuma de mu. 4 it will take weeks to get an IMF staff a year agreement. Or see a taking weeks and sign it manya IMF for amomatimi abana agreement to me asha see 5. Then the IMF board has to agree. Or move bet trust will be or say IMF board no a trust jitum and so matimi edjuma. 6. So this is not a short-term option. Unto see any manimu ya Ghana fufi se komodi ye ni sesia na wan high no. Enya di manimu ya ne benya so ensunsuanso. 7. The more broken the economy, the longer IMF negotiation. Or since the Usika Samna Tia Pansampa, a check and sana IMF forge and couldn't get a within it to me. I say, well, ya the end, ya de bia, the yard in a tetanoma, minimum say, did you mupadia, a betcha and sana, or metway. 8. Argentina's latest deal has been under discussion for 2 years now. Argentina forced the key a year bailout, IMF. 2 years in the Omuguso negotiation because of the gravity of Omu case in the Nema City. 9. Zambia's for 5 years. Zambia forced to seek IMF bailout because of economy in the cheapest and Romu continue. 5 years in Omusunya. 10. A staff agreement requires Ghana to accept fact it keeps resisting. Was say, and Yama would be a yesikasem, also I don't go the tour. Now can offer that 20 before the tour and MP before their tour. At the end of the day, no, the real fact will come. And I say, Uncle, you was abandoning to me, and Padis the real figure. It's almost submitted different figures to World Bank, almost submitted different figures to IMF. No. Now, I feel that the real figure will come out. 11, Ghana will have to sign on a DSSI and no medical Canada. 12, so months until you hear him say Bosumi. 13, in the meantime, it is critical to stem the bleeding. Or see any manu ya no, who ye a idea who here pass out my say, baby a Ghana near my call from air cost rest say no, a bambit me asuso mukakra. 14. Borrowing has to drop significantly to impact yield on existing and new debt. Or see Bosiana Yabon or see at Susia, say the Baya Yakana and Costro, now the etuan to me etia. 15. That starts with abandoning all vanity. I say I face you makuna project abani anwa say biwan fasika bi amano or say abani twintwan so sisia. 16. And a new attitude of highly wasteful spenders like the Electoral Commission. Afe nyumakwa wudo bi a sika kese kwhye te say Electoral Commission nye twa sika kese da come because of election or se nyina to entwa. 17. While the IMF announcement may have prevented another rating downgrade, in the near term, any prolonged delay in securing an agreement may actually trigger a downgrade. Sekoba se enkomotwitwi ya nkontema mai fo dwumedia ma eye international rating Fitch Mood any AMP no mo PMP no mo ka onyina no ombesa downgrade more. The fiscal situation is such that unless the deal leads to a debt restructuring, investors won't buy. Or say any IMF dwumedie se antumi ankohwe kwampa betimi afaso etwa eka omo mu sika no mu fo mu so jetri ensa machine sika semiem we enua ye penyi e Bright Simons ono this is how ono so assess the situation na yenhwe ade Professor Steve Hank or a professor applied economics Johns Hopkins University and Baltimore Maryland US abrochimemu na popular pa na niente na asema okaye. Last 2 months, a brand new inflation number about 19%. No inflation according to Ghana is over that. Now this month, the buy no see today, I measure inflation in Ghana at a stunning 49.35%. In a last-ditch effort, the government has begun negotiation with the IMF on a bailout deal. Spoiler alert: another IMF loan won't save Ghana's economy. Like its past 17 IMF programs, a new one will fail. As more can say Ghana inflation as at May, yeah, say 27.6%. No, on say inflation, the real figure of inflation, 49.35%, almost 50% inflation. No, say the customer consume. Na who say abano any IMF foodings or can I say baby I was a IMF Bosiana Bema Ghana ye or see I call IMF 17 times and ye say I can't say Sasa BCI before Frubia Infruma or no projection or they buy no. Now I share Ragabi as our trader. A man penning ever fast and I say Ninia. Also at the TBB and Ra on Facebook say if JDM, which is Mahama, and the NDC are happy about the MPP going to the IMF, now is what will deliver NDC victory in 2014 and 2024, then they better think again. It rather takes pressure off the Akufo-Addo's government to focus on things that will impact positively on the economy over the next 15 months. Or since NDC for movement, say IMF we are quite a chesela say Damudi 22. The 2024 meeting couldn't be among time in whom you know because I say IMF we no it's like IMF for to keep pressure no from another Akufo-Addo na buy now banner timi adwene no my nyama ho do betimi din sakrai bre Ghana for the NDC for my adwene say IMF no makono e yo mo down for there mo nwini ni mpre enso yewra Gabi osarse da konase mo kan na be wie wa ha say na mpanyimfo magi nkomnya ye comparison bi e wa ha say we ye 2015 bi na Ghana e call IMF and 2022 I call IMF. So this is under John Dramani Mahama. This is under Nana Akufo-Addo government. So when Ghana went to the IMF in 2015 versus 2022, that's the heading. Inflation. Ebra Ghana Mahama NDC yeko IMF in 2015 inflation is 17.15%. And now inflation as at May 27.6%. We are waiting for the year June figure. Change from 2014 was 1.6%. Change from 2021 is 20.1%. Over inflation 2014 equals 2015 as an echo IMF now. Change about inflation no 1.66%. But over inflation 2021 to inflation 2022 more now, the inflation has been increased by 20.1%. Okay, GDP was 47.5 billion. A year gross domestic product. Now it's Sabri Omanga Neja Padia Nyina and Yoko IMF no 2015. Now a year $47.5 billion. And the projected GDP is $64 billion projected. Over the annual GDP growth, as a Ghana, you call IMF 2015, no, now your annual affinity is 2.1. But 2022, the projected growth by the finance minister and the government is 5.3%. Okay, a liter of petrol, a liter of petrol, Sabrina Koto petrol, Akotoaba, Kwanya gallon, Akotoaba, no, now a 2 Ghana cedis 88 pesos. Now, the liter of petrol, no, 11 Ghana cedis 59 pesos. After a liter of diesel, as a 2015, you call IMF no, na 2 Ghana cedis 79 pesos. It means no, na petrol boy they see diesel. But in 2022, a liter of diesel is selling at 14 Ghana cedis 59 pesos. And then the difference is that the diesel is much expensive than a petrol as compared 2015 and 2022. IMF coin. So now this American said the real facts about the IMF Ghana ni hremu sesia na yanya ne ntese nyame adoma hwebe Wednesday IMF team no beba be share aban no international negotiation na shall to me akoso na beba to me akoso. Now the question na we nyume ebusa say why IMF with all the fantastic solid economic management team, why IMF? It's only Ghana and Kwane call IMF ana because the local social media is trending and a daily guide publishes over 100 countries and a ACK IMF support and Ghana nyaya nkwa. And as usual, we've been able to link it to the Russia-Ukraine war post-COVID-19 Hunkron. But what happened to the president promise? They know how to bring back the economy back to life. I didn't mean bring it back. It will be a way to me now to me encore. Is the IMF the best way to go? As a Kasia TUC for Aviata said they will never support the government and also they will make sure say this government in IMF a year negotiation a year or more TUC for they will not compromise on the mechanism the job security of a year Ghanaian worker as a civil servant. Is that the best way to go? Could it be the panacea? Can we remedy our situation, the economic situation we find ourselves in? Through IMF Bailout and a bread and a bit to me actually. Mitram Hutau, Namababe Ba, and then Penum for me and Son, MPP, NDC, GCPP. Yabachra Vinebusa say, IMF no crown or dear Diakodo, which I'm Habasisia.